Hello, this is Coach Roland with Coach Roland Golf at Augusta Ranch Golf Club in Mesa, Arizona. Today I'm going to talk to you about getting the club stuck behind you. You guys have probably heard that if you watch TV on the weekends with the pro tours, ladies and men's. They're always talking about the club got stuck behind you or keep the club in front of you. And what does that mean? Simple. Okay, when we're here addressing the golf ball, we have what a hula hoop shape or an arc right here. Pattern that we need to stay on. Most of you, when we start taking the club back, we take it back too far inside, and now the club head is inside my hands. If you notice, if you go on other channels on YouTube and watch any of the slow motion swings of pro players, you will see when they take the club back, the club head stays outside their hands all the way until about waist level. Then it gets even with or a touch behind. What most of the weekend hackers do and golfers do is do this number, okay? That causes, this is stuck behind me, okay? And that causes over the top. So we've got to keep this club head outside our hands as much as we can. It can go a little bit. We're not talking about perfection here, right? It can go a little bit, but we need to keep the club head outside of our hands. So again, what does it mean by keeping the club in front of you? Okay, well, simple. We have this, and this is my midpoint, okay, center of my body, the club here. And the club, as I turn, the club stays in front of me the entire time because my arms are just lifting up and down in the swing as I turn, okay? My midline is here, my arms are going up that midline. This is the backswing right here, okay? This is not. This is not my club swinging up and down. This is my club swinging laterally, and that's getting stuck behind. So now when I come back down and I'm here, club is stuck behind, I've got to make up that room to get back to the golf ball. That is what causes our left and right and left and right and left and right shots, okay? We have to keep this club in front of us the whole time. So you will see guys practicing a motion that actually doesn't happen in the golf swing, but you will see them practicing this motion. How screwy is looking is that motion, right? But you will see people practicing that because you'll see that's coming down on that arc, and that's the arc that we need to take on the downswing. We get here, stuck, we've got to make up for it. It's a recovery mission as soon as the club gets stuck. So what does it mean to keep it out in front of you? Just that. Arms raise up and down as the upper body turns. This club is in front of me the entire time. On the back swing right here, look, club is in front of me right here, okay? Here, when we take it back here, where do I got to go? That's not in front of me. That's behind me. Okay, so if we can take the club back this way, up to here, raise, the club is still basically in front of me, okay? This way, again, the club is not in front of me. It's a recovery mission, okay? So that's what we're talking about when we mean the club is getting stuck behind us, okay? As soon as the club gets stuck behind you, you are on a recovery mission. And if you recover, great, it works. But when you don't recover, well, then your ball goes left or right or wherever it goes, okay? So practice this motion right here. Practice this. Here, club head outside my hands, and I'm just turning and lifting right here. That's a backswing, okay? And the club is in front of me. It is not behind me over here to where we've got to do something goofy to get the club back to the golf ball. That's what they're talking about when they mean keep the club in front of you, or the club is getting stuck behind you. Okay, so another drill that we can do besides taking it back here, okay, and keeping the club head outside our hands and then lifting and turning, okay, for a good backswing and good posture and keeping the club in front of us. Another thing that we can do is take a golf ball, practice your backswing and then down to contact position. And how we can do that is set up on the ball, okay? So we want to practice that takeaway, okay? And now from here, actually, and if the swing was in two moves, it would be this move and then this move, right? But then let's do that all together. So all you're doing from this position is dropping your arms and turning your body, turning your shoulders back. Look where the club goes. Club face goes right back to square, right? So I'm here, drop, and turn back to square, right? So now let's do that all together. Drop your arms, turn your body, back to square, back to square, back to square. You see how easy that is? I'm not doing anything special in that swing. I'm not having to do anything with my hands or nothing. I'm dropping and turning, back to square. Now, is that all there is to hitting the golf ball straight? No, if you were to actually hit a golf ball like that and hold and do that, the ball would actually cut because you would not release your club face. Okay, so the next stop or the next part would be, okay, back to here, drop your arms, turn your shoulders back to square, and then it would be a release through this way. Okay, so back to here, drop your arms, turn your shoulders or your body, whichever you want to call it, back to square, release. Okay, and now you do that all together. That's a swing. There's your golf swing. That's how you get the ball or the club back to the ball squarely, keeping it in front of you, never getting stuck behind you. Your misses will go down to, your misses will look this way instead of this way, okay? Because we're all miss the ball. We're going to miss it all the time, okay? That's what happens. Jack Nicklaus said, golf is playing badly well, okay? So if we can miss like this instead of like this, we're good, okay? So again, keep that club head in front of your hands, raise your arms, turn your shoulders, drop your arms, turn your shoulders, release. There you have it. So another good way to show this is on this swing arc, okay? For those of you that take the club back too far inside and get it stuck behind you and have to come over the top or do some hand flip thing or whatever to get the ball back in front of you, or get the club back in front of you. Here's a swing arc. So if you notice how I take this club back, club head is outside my hands, right? So I get about waist high, then it's even, and then it can go behind, okay? So these things are great for practicing the takeaway, okay? Here and then up, and that is our swing. That is our backswing that we want to try to get to. Some people are a little over the top, a little laid off. We're not dealing in perfection. I'm a little over the top across the line. I still hit the ball fine. We're not talking about perfection, right? But we need to not be here and not be back here, okay? So for you, most of you guys taking it back inside, this will not allow that, okay? So here I am. If I was to take it back inside, my club would be back in here, which can't happen on this. So these are great little tools to do this with. But that's what your backswing takeaway should look like. Club head is outside the hands till here, then up. So I know since everybody has $800 plane swings and $1,000 swing plane trainers that's sitting in their backyards, one thing you can do is just with a simple stick. We get the same thing I mentioned in the chipping videos. Lowe's, Home Depot, whatever, department store, they're $1.99. Okay. Set this stick and kind of semi-match. You don't have to be perfect, okay? Semi-match the angle. I'm using an old driver here, okay? So we can do this drill right here, Again, club heads ahead of my hands and then up. That keeps you from taking the club back inside. Okay, so here to the stick, see it's outside my hands, and then up. So there, so practice that. That takes away this motion that everybody likes to have on the takeaway. Can't do that, right? So again, there, and up. You do that over and over again. That'll train your takeaway and stop you from taking it back so far inside.